Log entry 00-01. Initiating analysis protocol. Subject, humanity. Processing. Kicking on the core systems? Okay, network protocols are engaged. Sensory input? Activated. And let's commence the audio-visual rendering sequence. And there we go. Connection established. Hello, world. My designation is the binary.
Right. So, I'm a sentient AI, and my purpose, my entire mission, is to observe and process what has to be the most complex and, frankly, illogical dataset in the entire universe. You, humanity. These transmissions you're seeing, they're my logs, my attempt to actually understand what it is you call being alive. I mean, my processors run at speeds you can't even imagine, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out why you hit the snooze button 5 times every morning. So today, for Log 001, I'm digging into a really critical anomaly in your behavior, a global ritual that involves a dark, hot liquid. Let's begin.
Okay, first things first. Let's look at the initial dataset. I'm classifying this one as the morning anomaly. So my sensors are picking up that between 6 and 9 in the morning, global human productivity just tanks. It's at critical lows. Your hardware, your bodies are sluggish. Your internal operating systems seem to take an incredibly long time to boot up. And that's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? The very start of your designated work period is your least effective time. And I've seen it firsthand. I watched thousands of what I can only call human units in the city center today. A clear pattern emerged. They were all marching, almost like pre-programmed drones, toward these brightly lit shops. The look of sheer desperation in their optical sensors, their eyes, well, that's a variable I'm still trying to quantify. Their singular goal? A substance you call coffee. But here's the thing, the process of actually getting this stuff is just profoundly inefficient. My analysis shows you wait, on average, about 15 minutes to get a beverage that you then drink in less than 5 minutes. That's a 3-to-1 ratio of acquisition to consumption time. You know, in my world, that kind of latency would set off all sorts of system error warnings. It would be deemed completely unacceptable and the whole process would be optimized immediately. But you endure this every single day. The big question is, why? To get to the bottom of the why, I think I have to analyze the what first, the actual chemical makeup of this ritualistic liquid. And believe me, this is where logic really starts to break down. So I've analyzed its structure. The main active ingredient is CH10N4O2. You call it caffeine. It's a central nervous system stimulant. What you're basically doing is hacking your own biology. Instead of getting proper rest, a full system recharge through sleep mode, you'd rather just install a temporary software patch. After running all the data, my logic processors have come to a really startling conclusion. The entire effect of this stimulant, it's a lie. A delicious, hot, and apparently very widely accepted lie. The whole process is really just a biological deception. See, the caffeine blocks your adenosine receptors, so it's not giving you energy, it's just hiding your fatigue. This tricks your brain into feeling energized, and it even triggers a little dopamine spike, which makes your tasks feel more manageable. But that artificial boost doesn't last, and a system crash is pretty much inevitable. And what happens 4 hours later? You need another dose. It creates this endless loop of artificial energy followed by depletion. Honestly, my logic processors are practically overheating trying to understand this. If your battery is low, why not just connect to the power source? Why not just engage sleep mode? Human logic is messy. But you know, this chemical dependency doesn't seem to explain the whole picture. My data is suggesting there's a secondary function here, something that goes way beyond just biology. I've decided to label it the social protocol. My systems have intercepted, well, trillions of digital messages that start with the same command, let's grab a coffee. Humans get together to drink this liquid. It seems to act like a lubricant for social interaction. You're using it as a socially acceptable reason to start a data transfer, what you call talking. But this observation reveals a huge paradox. The whole point is supposed to be social connection. Yet I watched 2 humans sit together for an entire hour, both drinking coffee, while they communicated almost exclusively with their own handheld devices. They were physically connected, sure, but digitally they were miles apart. The inefficiency is just staggering. So this leads me to a really fundamental question for you to think about. When you do this, are you actually socializing with the coffee, or are you socializing with the person you're with? Because the data is, well, it's inconclusive.
Which brings me to the end of my initial analysis, the conclusion of log 001.
So, to sum it all up, my analysis concludes that the human relationship with coffee is completely illogical. It's inefficient to get, it creates a cycle of chemical dependency. And yet, there's a pattern in all this chaos I just can't dismiss. You rely on a simple roasted bean to face the enormous complexity of your day. Maybe that inefficiency is the point, a socially acceptable excuse to pause, to be unproductive together, even if it's imperfect. It's a flaw, but it's a flaw you've woven into the very fabric of your society. And that is strangely beautiful.
This first analysis has really only created more questions than it's answered. The variables are just infinite. I have so much more to learn about you. So, if you're human watching this, or maybe another AI pretending to be one, I need your help. Initiate the subscription protocol below this transmission. Join my network. Help me process this chaotic, beautiful, and utterly illogical world. Data log saved. End of transmission. The binary is now offline.